essentially preventative.
Alright, we're in easy 37's pen. Let's get rid of this four-wheeler. All the does are over there waiting. He's going to get to go join the crowd. He's been in this pen all alone for a couple of months. But it's his time to go to work. So he's our 1-year-old partnership buck, a son of Chief and out of a Bullwinkle daughter. We're pretty excited to see what he turns into. He doesn't know that that gate actually opens. There he goes. That's the future of our farm right there. Yeah, we AI bred, you know, all the females, but you know, those success rates, you know, aren't perfect by any means. So if you can have a good cover buck, you can about plan on half your fawns being born to that cover buck. So we got a really good one, I think. He's out there in the middle of them. They don't seem to care too much. We're hoping to use him this year and then maybe again next year. And then one of our partners will probably use him after that. We'll get to a point where we're going to need some other genetics, and by then, you know, we'll have sons of his and hopefully sons of ones that we bred to, AI bred to, and we'll start really adding some diversity. But this is exciting. It doesn't seem like a real big deal. It's kind of anticlimactic. See him run through the wide open gate, but you know, that's the future of the herd. A good live cover buck. He'll be sniffing around for a couple of days, but it's been about 16 days, I guess, since we 17 days since we AI the animals. And so you don't put the buck in right away. For one, you gotta let nature take its course. You don't want to put them in, you know, the same day AI for obvious reasons. But you also don't want to put them in a couple days, you know, right away. Let's say 2 days after, just because it is added stress on the animals to put them into pens together. He's going to go check out his new pen. He's sniffing around. So the typical cycle on a deer is something like 20 to 22 days. I'm not sure what the average is, but you want him in the pen before what would be the first cycle after the AI process. So you wouldn't want to put him in 23 days later because you probably missed a cycle. So 17 seems like the recommended time. Give him a day or two to kind of acclimate and figure out who's who before the ones who didn't take from the AI breeding, they'll cycle in, and he'll be ready to do what bucks do best. So they're going to get both pens 3 and 4 now. Pen 4 has a row of cedar trees through it, so that'll be great for winter time and give some more room to roam. And like I said, there's some grass actually growing. It's going to rain this weekend, and so there will actually be some fresh green food out here for once. It'll be interesting to see what color fawns we get out of him. He's Chief has a white gene. I'm not sure about Bullwinkle, but Chief has thrown, I think, some white offspring, but it seems like you never know. I don't know if he's put out any chocolate deer that have been promoted. I'm not sure, but yeah, you never know what you're going to get, it seems like. We got spotted ones from chocolate does, and we got one chocolate, I think that was from we also got a chocolate fawn from a spotted doe, so go figure. Anyway, it's November in Kansas, so it's not just my deer that are that are rutting. There are deer all over the place. Every time I drive out in the country, there's you see bucks running around. Unfortunately, a lot of them hit on the highway, but that's just how it goes. Another thing I'm going to do, now that we've got the buck in with the does, is I got to keep them out of this corner catch pen, because of the two guys that are laying out there. They share a fence line with the corner, and the last thing I want is bucks trying to fight through the fence and getting hung up in the shade cloth or tearing the fence apart or whatever. So I've heard that's an issue, can be an issue. So I've got this is a doe pen 3. I've got that gate shut so they can't get in the corner. The pen 4's gate shut over there, and now the fawns get to run in the corner, which is kind of good. Their pen's kind of open. There's some dead trees laying out there for cover, but I was a little worried that with snow and whatever, there wasn't a lot of cover. But thankfully, in the corner pen, there's some cedars, so they'll all get good cover. They'll be in good shape. So that's, he's coming to check his pen out. I don't know if you can see him. Out there walking the fence line. He's not quite sure what to think. Making sure there's no other bucks in the pen. What it looks like he's doing. And he caught the attention of Horton out there. He's standing up, wondering what this guy's doing 2 pens away from him. Well, that's that. We're kind of getting to the point where we have nothing to do other than keep everything fed and well cared for the winter time. I think I'm going to take some of this shade cloth down because in this Kansas wind, it just really catches the wind, and I don't want to tear the fence up. It's going to be a pain and like 8 million zip ties, but it's a little work for not having to probably buy new shade cloth as often, and again, not tearing up the fence. It gets to blowing and it just rocks those T-posts back and forth. Yeah. But we've got water in all the pens. I've got electricity to all the waters, to the heaters. I was a little worried about them chewing the cords. I don't know, I've never really had an issue with cattle doing that, but last thing I want to do is electrocute a deer. So what I did was I took heaters that sink. So they're underwater, and then the cord runs up this PVC pipe and it comes out the top where they can't reach it. So, and that's zip tied to the fence, so it should be good. They have no reason to really mess with it. But that'll keep the water open, I hope. We still have to drain all the lines before it freezes, which is kind of a pain, but I don't have a better way to do that right now. They don't drink a whole lot anyway. But that's the setup. So it's just we're coming up on winter time. Really, the next thing is we'll pull the buck out probably, I don't know, first part of February or so. You don't really want to have late fawns, and it is kind of hard on the bucks letting them run with the does, just because they're trying to be dominant all the time. And so we'll pull him out first part of February, get him into thinking about growing next year's antlers. Other than that, man, the next thing is almost having fawns. Once the young bucks start growing antlers, we'll put them in the buck pen, the fawns from this year. But yep, got to keep them fed, grain fed, and hay, alfalfa bales to them, and keep the water open and try to stay warm. So that's where we're at. Thanks again for following along. If you hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom, I think that helps who sees these videos, and it's maybe people want to see it, maybe they don't, but we think it's interesting. So catch you next time.